My name is Financial Charles, and today is October 30th of 2023. As you can see, Bitcoin's current price is about $34,200. Last video I made, I don't even remember where it was at, but it was in this lower range right here. So obviously this big move, let's just say this move started around over here, right? I believe this was the candle in which the BlackRock rumor came out on Cointelegraph, the false news, and ever since then it's rallied about 20-ish%. And if we measure it from the bottom, which is technically here, but let's just say it was somewhere over here, it's increased by almost 33%, which is insane. The majority of the growth took place in the span of a couple days. It was really this day right here that we really bursted through and we started setting new highs, and it went all the way up to 35,000. And not too long ago, just last month, we were at the 24,000 range. So in 1 month, it's just a $10,000 gain for Bitcoin. It's very crazy, and it's these types of moves that really solidify time in the market, beating timing the market. And I remember, I don't know if it was my last video or a couple of videos ago, but I had mentioned that a majority of the upwards price movement for Bitcoin, it happens very quickly, like within the span of maybe a couple days. Just like this one that we saw, this was a span of maybe 4 days of rallying, but the majority of the gains, like there was just this one day where it just shot up and did not come down. If you look here, this is the Bitcoin chart all throughout 2023, and as you can see, like all the major moves up all happened so fast. So span of couple days, span of couple days, span of couple days, span of couple days. And all the other times that it's not going vertical like this, you could kind of see that it's like a slow grind down, a lot of sideways chop, and just a lot of volatility to the upside and the downside, shaking out bulls and bears. The reason that time in the market beats timing the market is because I'll take, this candle, for example, here. I had $4,000 just sitting in cash, just sitting on the sidelines, and that was all the way back here. I was hoping, maybe we'd see lower lows and all that stuff, but the exact opposite happened. But I'm glad because, I even have the receipts. These videos are receipts. I was explaining that I was lump summing everything here. The $4,000 is just from, putting some dry powder aside and saving it for a rainy day. I know I talked about taking out leverage in my last couple of videos, and, that fiat was to service the debts, to buy dips. That's the reason why I had the $4,000 cash. But looking at it now, like obviously in retrospect, I should have just lump summed it again once again into Bitcoin, and I'd be up right now. I still am up, from all my other purchases that were made all throughout here. It's incredible to see, and I think a move like this really solidifies that we've seen the bottom, and it solidifies that we are in a bull market, and it solidifies that we are on our way to new highs and more volatility to the upside as the halving approaches. An argument with the halving is that a lot of people say it's priced in, this that, and psychologically I do feel like that is a reasonable thought, just because pardon me, I think it's reasonable because psychologically it's best to be on, if everyone's rushing to one side of the boat, it's best to rush to the other side of the boat. If everyone thinks it's going one way, it typically goes the other way. And that was evident in all the way up here when everyone said it was going up higher. Yeah, even the most conservative bulls, even the most, conservative viewpoints, even they all said it was going to go up here. And I felt like everyone was screaming bull run here, like in this range. So I figured, maybe it is time to go down and see a correction. And, I based that off of what we got over here last cycle when we set the low in December of 2018. And then in March of 2020 with the coronavirus scare, we made it close. We made it very close. But obviously you could argue that if coronavirus never happened, Bitcoin probably would have just stayed in this range right here. And if you look at the monthly candles, even, it was just a wick. This coronavirus dump was just a wick. Like, let's pretend that this wick wasn't even here. You can kind of see that it just went sideways before going up. And, perhaps we're going to see the same thing here. Like, perhaps this is that sideways range. I think in one of my other videos I was talking about how 30K this cycle is the equivalent to 10K of the last cycle, where anything above 10K was a little bit pricey, anything below 10K was considered a good buy. And then, obviously anything that you bought here was going to be in profit afterwards. And even when it dropped all the way down here in November of 2022. But yeah, very cool to see a move like this. And this is not even, it's crazy that when the BlackRock rumor came out, this was the wick. I mean, this was the green candle up. And then, even after it was confirmed a fake rumor or fake news, it still continues to rally up, and it's just insane. I think, this is a new range for us. We will probably, spend some time chopping, just like we have here, and even here, right? We're probably just going to spend, some chop, maybe even go down. But yeah, this is going to be a new range, and I think when we come down from this range, 30,000 is now going to be considered a steal. It's going to be considered a steal purchase, whereas back when it was 30,000 here, 30,000 there, 30,000 was a little bit of a high price to pay. Well, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, over the long term, obviously 30K for one of 21 million is a steal. It's definitely a steal. But, in terms of short range or short term, and local highs and local lows, yes, of course, 30,000 is going to be more expensive than, 25,000. But wow, like, it's crazy that everyone that is bought in 2023 is up, and they continue to be up, you know what I mean? So, yeah, very cool thing to see. Yeah, not too much to talk about, I guess. I just wanted to catch up and, talk about the pump that we saw. And I did want to, make videos during this pump and this pump, but I don't know. I guess I was just lazy and I didn't do it. But yeah, as it stands right now, Bitcoin is looking very, very good. And what's very interesting, let me show you this. This is actually really cool. As we all know, the S&P has been dumping and dumping and dumping, and it continues to dump further. And it's just cool that Bitcoin used to have this narrative that it just is correlated with the S&P 500, and this is one of the times where we can clearly see the difference. As everyone with S&P is going down, everyone with Bitcoin just rockets straight up. Big green candle there. And if you go we look at the Bitcoin price valued in S&P 500, you can see major breakout even. And where does this price range correlate to in terms of last bull run? It correlates to, these little areas right here. And during last bull run, these were considered the trenches. These were considered the trenches to buy from. Let's go back to the Bitcoin USD chart. Where does it? Come on. Here we go. Yeah, as you can see here, we're in the trenches of the last bull run now, There were times in the last bull run where everyone's eyes were on Bitcoin and it was at 29,000. Right now, we're higher up. We're at the price where, I remember this was kind of the price range where Elon Musk bought, the over $1 billion worth of Bitcoin over here. And then, it was a frenzy for sure. But yeah, big S&P continues to go down, and I will make another S&P 500 versus Bitcoin video to solidify my points once again, and hopefully go in greater detail and go more in depth about why Bitcoin is better than the S&P 500, and it will continue to S&P will continue to bleed against Bitcoin over time. But yeah, that'll be coming up in the future. Yeah, but anyway, I don't want to continue rambling too much. This is, just a quick summary that, yeah, Bitcoin is clearly in a bull run, and, I don't think it's going to go down to the 15,000 level range ever again. I'm just going to make that clear right here, right now. I'm going to call it here first. I don't think Bitcoin is going to see these ranges ever again. I think this down here at the 14,000 to 20,000 range, this was, a gift from the heavens right here. And, Bitcoin is clearly in an uptrend, and the trend is your friend until the end. We're in a macro uptrend right now. So continue to buy, continue to lump sum, continue to DCA. If you want to take profits off the table, I guess you can do that. But, yeah, I do think it's, important to take profits off the table just because, and not hold it in fiat, but because, this is what currency is used for. Currency is used to enjoy your life and enjoy, things that money can buy while you still are alive. But I know, like, we all have different philosophies with that, and I think people's philosophies will change over time as well. Just depends on, the road that you take, when it comes to life, what life path you want to take. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. It feels really great to be a Bitcoiner around this time. That's all I gotta say. It feels amazing to be a Bitcoiner. I remember a lot of people were talking smack to me. A lot of people are telling me that Bitcoin was this, Bitcoin was that, Bitcoin is not this, Bitcoin is not that. All throughout here, they told me that the U.S. government can shut it down. They told me that they can shut down the power grids, they can shut down the internet. And because they didn't listen, they are down. They are down in comparison to Bitcoin, just keeps going up. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I will continue to make more videos in the future. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. And yeah, I will see you next video.